Hi, good afternoon, good morning, everybody.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey.
Hi, Konishi-san, do you need to say anything before we start this session?
Please start.
Okay, thank you.
I have nothing to say right now.
Okay, thank you, Konishi-san. Is now already 11 a.m. In the UTC +8 time zone, so maybe let's start. This session is about ARENA-PAC updates. Of course, we are at the network engineering workshop, and my name is Cheng. I'm with APAN. I'm based in Brisbane, Australia, and it's still winter in Australia, so that's why I wear a jacket. For this session, we have 4 speakers. Of course, all of the talks will be related to ARENA-PAC. ARENA-PAC stands for Arterial Research and Education Network and in Asia Pacific. It is a very special name, unique name, and is aiming to be a R&E network backbone for the Asia Pacific region. And our first speaker is Asai-san from Y Project. He will talk more about ARENA-PAC in details, and Asai-san is from Y Project, and he is in charge of the network operations of ARENA-PAC. And ARENA-PAC network is owned by APIDT, Asia Pacific Internet Development Trust, which is owned by Y Project and APAN together. And so I suppose Asai-san will give you more details about the ARENA-PAC network. Without further ado, I'll pass it on to Asai-san.
Yeah, thank you for your introduction. So can you see my slide?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, I'm gonna. Is this a full screen or presenter screen?
Yeah, it's presentable. Yes, all
okay,
good.
got it.
Thank you.
Is it?
Oh no, it's the wrong one.
No, okay, got it. That's a fake. Okay, this is the
Yes.
proper one. Okay, thank you. So good morning or good afternoon. I'm Hirochika Asai. Call me Panda. That is my nickname. And I'm from Y Project. I'm a board member of Y Project and leading the operation of the ARENA-PAC. So I'm gonna talk about the ARENA-PAC in detail, the update of the ARENA-PAC. So I think that this is the third or fourth time to talk about the ARENA-PAC in APAN this workshop. So I think you may know the what the ARENA-PAC is, but let me talk about briefly. Let me introduce the ARENA-PAC in briefly. So the ARENA-PAC is as our chief introduced, ARENA-PAC is a project of APIDT, and that is the backbone submarine cable infrastructure in Asia Pacific for the global research and education. So this is operated by the Y Project. So I'm gonna talk the ARENA-PAC here. Yep, and we have I think this slide showed much. So this is the backbone network of the ARENA-PAC. So we have 100 gig circuit from Tokyo to Guam, and we have we have as a consortium, 4-party consortium between ARENA-PAC, ARNET, Intent 2, and Indiana University. We have Guam Singapore 100 gig circuit that is now in operation, and we will have a circuit between Guam and Quezon City in Philippines, and then we're gonna have a Guam to Malans circuit soon in this year. So this is the backbone network of the ARENA-PAC. We have we're gonna have 4 circuits in total in Asia Pacific. So all these circuits are for research and educational purpose. So, and from the viewpoint of the operational viewpoint, the ARENA-PAC has a AS number, so it's operating the layer 3 infrastructure for research and educational purpose. And for this network, we have peering with the wide project, GXP Tokyo, Signet in Tokyo Pub, and through the Guam. Unfortunately, our equipment hasn't been coming to us yet, so that we have no switches or no levelers at the Guam. We have a Tokyo, we have equipment in Tokyo, but we don't have any equipment in Guam. So the circuit is currently directly goes to the GOREX, but via Guam, via GOREX, we have a pairing with the University of Hawaii, UOG, ARNET, Shingaren, Lians, and Transpac. And for the better precise traffic engineering, we established new pairing with the ARNET to the Guam. This will be talked later. And this network is for, as I said before, research and educational traffic. And we're doing some collaboration with our partners. So we are collaborating with other research and educational networks under the APAN collaboration. So I think this morning APAN session was held in this APAN meeting. So I think you may know more about that. But the APAN collaboration consists of I think that is the 14 parties, right? So, and these are our collaboration partners. So we have a very broad and very diversified submarine cable based infrastructure with these parties, and then we can have the very wide band or the network over the APAN collaboration. So the one of the takeout, I mean, one of the takeaway from this collaboration is that we had actually the NII and the JGN. JGN is where is it? And operated by NICT had a circuit maintenance from Tokyo to Singapore at that time. So we had a backup. We established a backup link for them using the ARENA-PAC circuit. So this is this increases the resiliency of our research and educational network using this collaboration scheme. So so this is the APAN collaboration. But using this collaboration, we need some optimization in the global routing because we have many circuits. For example, we have many paths, alternative paths from the Tokyo to Singapore. We can have direct links from the Tokyo to Singapore using the NII circuit. We may be able to have an alternative circuit. So using this kind of the redundant circuit, the routing is one of the issues. So we're doing some routing optimization, with our partners. So now the Signet has a new circuit from the Tokyo Guam as well. So we have a 200 gig BPS circuit in total using the ARENA-PAC circuit and the NII circuit. I mean the Signet circuit. So we are discussing the routing policy with the Signet. for the use of the Tokyo Guam circuit. So for the ARENA-PAC, the Tokyo Guam is used as the private link for the Hawaii circuit, and the NII, if they have a problem with the circuit, they may have they may use the our circuit, Tokyo Guam circuit, instead of their circuit. And yeah, but for the US mainland, the Pacific Wave Transpac circuit is here, and the NIS circuit is also here. So if for the meeting to the Hawaii, the Tokyo Guam circuit is better for the latency. But if we have any problems with this circuit, the routing will be through the Seattle or Los Angeles. So this kind of the routing optimization is the ongoing. But for the Australia, it is really difficult for us because we have two redundant circuit here, and we the SINET NII has the alternative circuit to Singapore. So for the better traffic engineering, it's very hard to do the traffic engineering through the GOREX if we have the one-hop BGP peering through the GOREX. So we established the direct peering with the ARNet so that we can do the more sophisticated traffic engineering with the ARNet and the SINET. So this was the updated from the last presentation. And this is very good news. Our equipment will finally be delivered to us soon. I mean, in this month, scheduled. So we can now, so we're gonna have a full site. Actually, the Singapore, this is the consortium link, so that we don't have any plan to put our equipment here, but we're gonna have our equipment to the Tokyo, Guam, Quezon City, and Malang. So we're gonna have the BGP full route capable router switches and server to the each site. So we can have some kind of the performance test site using the PerfSooner on the each site. And we're gonna deploy our monitoring and management tool. And in the collaboration scheme of the APAN, we are planning to share the statistics of these sites, the traffic. And I think that we have 3 more presentations, the presenters in this session. So these 3 sites are the updates on their site. So we're gonna have a new circuit in this year from Guam to Malang and Guam to Quezon City. And ARENA-PAC is planning to expanding its network with the VPN-based technology to the Timor Leste through the Malang, Indonesia. So this will be talked by the other presenters, Abbas, Bani, and Husni later. So I don't want to talk much about that, but we will soon have a Guam Malang circuit. Our ambition is the 100 gig circuit to the Malang. And we're gonna have a full collaboration with the IDREN. So the endpoint will be the data center site of the University of the Bravi Java. So we're gonna have a full collaboration with the UB and the IDREN for this Indonesia site. And for the Timor Leste, the Timor Leste is to be expanded. Our ARENA-PAC network is to be expanded from the Malang to the Timor Leste using the VPN-based technology. So I think we need some kind of the sophisticated traffic engineering or SDN-based things in the Malang. Maybe the SRv6. We are currently discussing about that. And for to Philippines, we're gonna have Guam, Quezon City. This circuit, for this circuit, our ambition is also the 100 gig, but I'm not sure and not decided yet and not determined yet. So this circuit is a full collaboration with the SD and president. So now we're collaborating. I mean, we're now discussing how to manage the traffic, how to make better traffic engineering, and how to make some experiments with using this circuit with the Bunny. We're gonna talk about more later. So this is the summary of my presentation. I mean the ARENA-PAC updates. So the updates we have equipment. We're gonna have equipment soon, and then this year we will have new 3 sites. The 2 are very high-speed circuit sites from the Guam. So the Malang and the Quezon will have a very high-speed circuit from Guam. And for the Timor Leste, they're gonna have a VPN-based internet connection. I mean, the research and educational network connectivity through the Malang. So this is the summary of the summary of my presentation, the summary of the updates on ARENA-PAC. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Asai-san. Are there any questions for Asai-san, Panda? Just to add on what, sorry. Yeah, any question?
Can I make a question?
Yeah, Conneting, okay, please go ahead.
And I think, I guess ARENA-PAC will be a long-term project. For example, APAN survives for 25 years. 10 network will survive around roughly 20 years or so. And how long will ARENA-PAC expand it from now on? Long-term project.
Yeah, ARENA-PAC is a long-term project. So we have a long-term ARU for the circuit procurement, circuit contract. So for this backbone network, this is not official, but the Murai-san, Jun Murai, is saying that this will be a very long-term project. Maybe that is possibly a forever project. We hope. Yeah, that is our ambition. So the project itself is a very long-term one. So these circuits are maintained very long time. I mean, more than 10 years. So, but for the expansion, I think we need a more careful discussion with the API-DTB, because the cable owner is not the ARENA-PAC. The ARENA-PAC is the operational entity. So the expansion, this is the current plan. So we don't have any more plan to expand the ARENA-PAC to the other sites. But this kind of discussion I hope will be studied after the stable operation of this backbone.
Okay. Thank you, Konishi-san. Thank you, Asai-san. Any other questions? Perhaps I can add more to what Asai-san just mentioned. APNIC is helping with ARENA-PAC, but our roles and responsibilities are mostly financial management, legal and contract management. As for the technical and operation side, these are all under one project. And of course, Asai-san is one of the key persons in charge of that part. Any other questions, comments? If not, thank you, Asai-san. Okay, we have our second speaker, who is Husni. He is working for Keio University, but he is also in charge of the AIII project. and he will talk about how to connect ARENA-PAC with Timor-Leste, which Sai-san just mentioned. And so this is something quite exciting, I should say, because I think we need to support Timor-Leste more, and they need a lot of like development, and this project is to help their development. I personally go to Timor-Leste once, so I kind of understand the situation over there. And maybe I pass it on to Husni, who can tell us more about the project. Husni.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Jihu. So I hope everyone can hear my audio. Let me share my screen.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Give me a sec. So where is that thing? Okay, so yeah, thank you once again. So let me just briefly present the UNTL ARENA-PAC plant link. So this is still in the planning, but I will give a brief background and some plan of what we want to do with this link. So just to introduce to everyone that our partner over there is the National University of Timor-Leste, or UNTL. So this is in the Portuguese, so that's why it says UNTL over there. So UNTL has been a long-time member of our community, and we'd like to expand the link now over there. And of course, as mentioned as well, for the Indonesia as well as the Philippines, there's a research education network as well over there. This is with the tlren.net. What's different from others, well, what's usually happening around the community is that the TLREN is managed by National Communications Authority, or ANC. And ANC seems to be working closely with the Indonesian State Cyber and Cryptography Agency, or BSSN. And also I have a contact in Indonesia as well, in another ministry that has a close collaboration with their counterpart in the Timor-Leste. So hopefully by using our contacts in the UNTL, who knows TLRAN persons as well, and in Indonesia, who know people over there, we can have good collaboration with both UNTL and TLRAN for the future and connecting to ARENA-PAC. So just to briefly show you this is from the ITU map. I believe you can see this fiber map, and you can see this, that over here, this is the Dili. This is where the UNTL main campus is. And what we will connect is the UNTL Hera campus. This is a faculty of engineering, and UNTL has a very good collaboration with JICA, and then we will connect to a new building that's built with cooperation with JICA over there. So that is the plan, and you can see here the fiber cables. You can see there are many cables going to Indonesia, and I believe everyone knows that in 2024 there would be a new cable from Australia, Darwin, I believe, and then connecting to Timor-Leste, and connecting to other places. So I hope we will have better diversity of cable in the future that might be as a candidate if we're going to do this in the long run with the Timor-Leste, and that is the situation. And just to briefly show you the current plan now. So as I mentioned, that JICA, well, UNTL Hera campus has new buildings, and with the existing router and connectivity to local ISP, and they're connecting to the main campus in Dili through that ISP. And our plan is the one that's on top here. We plan to have another link to the same ISP, and then this router will mainly connect to distance learning room and other research facility in the building. So this is in the Faculty of Engineering, and we will do a VPN mainly to UB Brawijaya to connect to ARENA-PAC, and as a backup we have another VPN to AIII in Fujisawa in Japan. So VPN Brawijaya and the AIII. So there, as Asai-san or Panda-san mentioned earlier, the possibility of using SRv6 is of course on the table on how we will do this. Of course, we will have to talk about the details. So this is the plan now. What we're thinking is to have a 10 Mbps link, probably short-term contract like 2 years, and we'll see from there what we can have. Of course, we will, as I mentioned earlier, that there will be a new cable connecting from Australia to Timor Leste and go other places, Indonesia and to Guam and so on. And so this is the current plan. And what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to visit UNTL to discuss the details and meet people, including people with the TLREN, and likely to be in September. I'm still arranging schedules because the flight over there is only twice a week, Monday and Friday. So if I go Monday, it will be too long over there. If I go Friday, then it will be there's no time to work because the next will be a weekend. So I'm still arranging the time. So that is the update that I can share with the about the plan to have a link to Timor-Leste. So maybe there's many things that have to be decided, but yeah, I'm still working with them, communicating closely using WhatsApp, Zoom, and emails. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Husni. Any questions, comments? In fact, APNIC is also very close with ANC. We are talking to them about like doing training for Timor-Leste. We of course will remind them to like include like UNTL, for the training, and also they are setting up TLIX Internet Exchange. I'm also talking to them to see whether they would allow maybe like UNTL to connect as well, so that like UNTL can also have like good local connectivity within Timor-Leste. And of course, I think like as for the fibers that Husni mentioned, like if it can be ready, then I think there will be a lot of like new opportunities for Timor-Leste. And I think the work being done by Husni and AIII will, lay a good foundation for the future development before they have the submarine cables.
Yeah, we hope so. Yeah.
Any questions, comments for Husni? If not, thanks, Husni.
Okay, thank you very much.
Our next speaker is Abbas. He will talk about IDREN updates. As Asai-san mentioned, IDREN will connect to ARENA-PAC soon, and in fact, the circuit probably will be ready really soon, and which is a 100 gig connection. And maybe I'll pass it on to Bas to talk about IDREN updates.
Can you hear me?
Over to you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm sorry, can you see my full screen slide?
I can see it. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So, thank you, Jihu. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Achmad Basuki, and people used to call me Abbas, so you can call this Abbas, so it's his shorter name. Basically, main main assignment is in UB, Universitas Brawijaya or University of Brawijaya, and also the General Secretary in IDREN. So let me continue my presentation. So what I would like to talk or to giving some update to this community is basically continuing our previous, but some are not going to be repeated. But basically, I'm just want to give the updates related with the today's IDREN and the ongoing activities and plannings. So as other people's or many knows about that IDREN is basically reviving the previous REN that we have, which is only connecting to the higher education from the state university. But now, basically since 2015, we are trying to collaborate together with other support from the ISP that will provide the link layer or layer 2 connectivity. And then on top of that, we do some operations on the layer 3. So the current situation is basically not really changed yet. I mean, it's still in the operations, connecting of more than 40 university. The dynamic is like every year, sometimes the university changing from other ISP subscription and then going to other subscription. Then sometimes their connectivity disconnected for a while, then reconnecting again. But to tackle that kind of problem, so we are expanding the university that are willing to contribute to have to be the IDREN gate. So on the current operation, we still have 5, means like those are the top 5 or big 5 university like in Jakarta, Universitas Indonesia, and also the ITB and EGMs and in Yogyakarta and ITS in Surabaya and also in Malang, it is UB, all with the links like 1 gig. And still using the current arrangement of the several link layers. And since we are, I mean, it's like we are earlier architecture is like designing like to really separate the contribution from ISP to other ISP, then we prefer or distinct the network like one IS and the other IS and something like that. And we then quickly revise this. It's not expanding this earlier architecture. So this is the situations like currently running. So means like connectivity to IDREN. So means like whenever some of the university would like to connect to IDREN, then the ISP that provide their internet connectivity will also try to provide the connectivity to the IDREN, the closest that they can have or they can reach, something like that, and then provide the link. And the current situations up to today, since the upcoming link that Panda Sans already mentions, also Husni already mentions, are not yet in operation, but since we will have this year. So the external connectivity to global RAN is basically or mainly through ITB. Then those gates are connected integratedly in one AS number, which is like 64302, and then to connect to the Singapore. This is the 1 gig link, and the operations, of course, we are, I think, working closely with ITB, that is the representative to have connectivity with the TAIN project. And the activities basically still in operations, but of course the pandemic is hindering some face-to-face activities. And then because of that, we are trying to provide some online technical course that specific to Indonesian language and to the students. We are now still populating the academy, I mean the content in the academy ID, collaborating with other university also, and then trying to populate and also deepening the content inside that. And other activities such as like what we've been doing in last years, which is like proposing to have machines share and then provide the cluster among which is within the gate, for example, like in UB or in Surabaya in ITS and also UGM, then try to share with the student to have who doesn't have enough resources to do some experiment on the online, meaning like to provide a share machine for online lab working, something like that. For example, like learning about the application development or some sort of the simulation on the networks and also some measurement. And other ongoing activities and plannings, which is like the collaborations. As I mentioned in the earlier APAN meeting, which is the APAN 53, I mentioned that IDREN are working hard to realize the collaboration with the telcos, which is expanding from earlier, which is only 3, then to 9. Basically, we have other offer from other ISP, but we try to commit to have the legal documents to be there yet. So we did actually we did a meeting like in last June, and then we have commitment from that, and the result, which is like higher cumulative bandwidth capacity up to 37 gigs. Meaning like each of the ISP committed to provide a link, for example, like connecting between Surabaya and then Malang and then going to uh, Yogyakarta and then circling like that, and then other SP committed with the other city connecting, something like that. And then all together, if we try to operate on top of that layer 3, and then we can perform, we can have the domestic link for the IDREN. Those are the strategy that we are doing. And then the ongoing progress for the new domestic link, since we have problems with the, well, previously we are not really expecting the situation, meaning like the chip shortage issue are also hindering the progress on this, and then some of the discussion on the legal matter, we still have, a slowdown on that matter. So we are trying to conclude basically within this August and September, and with the with the involvement of the Ministry of Education and Research and Technology, they are also proposing not only 5 universities. Earlier we are proposing only 5 because those the university that we already have some informal and also formal commitment, but then expanding to 11 university, meaning like reaching to Sumatra, Kalimantan, and also other islands. So to have a richer choices of connecting with the gates of IDREN. And then the site survey is also being delayed. So we revised those schedule basically. And then the ARENA-PAC to IDREN is expected to operate in the Q4, the current estimation. Those are the updates and differing from the previous one. And then ARENA-PAC will have a landing in the UB campus, Universitas Brawijaya in Malang. You can check on the map, and then expected operation in Q4. So we are also expecting the equipment delivery also that Pandasan already mentioned earlier. So we try our best to realize to make this happening, and also formalizing the operation collaborations between ARENA-PAC, IDREN, and UB, since UB also hosting the equipment and everything to interconnect with the IDREN. Then we are having the some kind of MOU going to be signed later on this year. I think those are the activities, and then we are from the Ministry of Education and Research and Technology also having some activities currently formulating, and then going to have some blueprint and also some prototyping related with the blockchain network to help protect some academic report and certificate data, academic certificate only. And then also trying to prototyping the metaversity within the university and using the IDREN as the backbone to support that. And some university already have NVIDIA DGX1, since the research related with the AI and big data analysis also ongoing. So we also, IDREN been asked by the ministry to support the access through IDREN, meaning like to have better connectivity speed and so on related with the research and education activities. So those are the updates from IDREN. Thank you.
Thank you, Abbas. Any questions for Abbas? Any questions?
So I have a question.
Yeah,
Panda. Yep. So
Yes.
yeah, it's very interesting that you are having some kind of the NVIDIA DGX or server in your campus. I mean, in the IDREN. Do you have any plan to collaborate with the international the circuit? I mean, for example, the ARENA-PAC for the data transfer or the data retrieval from the other countries or other locations.
Yes, of course, we are aiming to do that. So it means like currently, as far as I know, that, and also I can inform, we some of the state university in Indonesia, if I'm not mistakenly remember, there is 8 campuses that have those and we get DJX, and we are also looking a solution to distribute the access, since it was also funded by the government, and the government also requiring the university not only sharing the access within the university but also share with the others. So the main purpose. That's why IDREN have been asked to support to link those. And if you I think your question is very interesting. Also need to link with the others.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that there are lots of open data in all over the world.
Right.
So if you are if you're planning to use the such kind of open data in United States or in Japan or in EU,
Right.
I think the APONET collaboration or ARENA-PAC circuit could be used for data transfer, data retrieval from that from their side.
Yes, yes, yes. In fact, the activity that we are also proposing, meaning that those activities that related with also the blockchains and the data analysis also activity we are actively pushed to the IDRENs and the ministry to be able to utilize the upcoming links to from ARENA-PAC and so on.
Yeah.
But within the IDREN, we are also have some means like a big task to have more connectivity to other university, not only within Java. Those are our big tasks and big challenges. Since most of the ISP have rich connectivity within Java, but not that much to the other islands. That we are asking the support from the Ministry of Informatics and Communications, not only for the Ministry of Education. Right now, we've been introducing our activities to other ministry to have the support. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Panava.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
Thank you, Asai-san, for the question. And in fact, of course, like in order to make the best use of the ARENA-PAC connection, in addition to like doing more applications, getting like open data from other places, I think internally, domestically, the backbone connection would need to be further developed. Otherwise, yeah, other university may not get the full benefits of the ARENA-PAC connection. So a lot of work for you, Bas.
Sure, sure. I forgot. I think in the earlier meetings, Husni already mentioned also related with the CBRI AI AIII projects, and we are also trying to collaborate with other universities, for example, like UB, Unsiah in Aceh, and also some university in Kalimantan to have like IoT implementation for transport telemetry data to share among that. So this is also good to propose the activity and then utilizing the network. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Yeah, but it's a 100 gig connections. So yeah, let's work harder.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you,
Thank you.
Abbas. If no other questions, let's have the fourth talk. Our fourth speaker is Benny. I think a lot of you know him. He is working for ST Preginet. And of course, as I mentioned, Preginet is planning to connect to ARENA-PAC. And let's hear what are the updates from Preginet. Over to you, Benny.
Good morning, Chehu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you see my mouse moving?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for the time for allowing me to present. I'll be presenting some activities or updates within the Philippine Research, Education, and Government Information Network. So we've been operating since around year 2000, more or less 22 years of operations. Just a short advertisement, the Philippines will be hosting Apricot 2023. So physical face-to-face meeting. The main host will be the Philippine Network Operators Group. Of course, ASTI supports the hosting of Apricot next year. But the main guys will be the volunteer network operators. Okay, so a little bit of the links within Preginet. We have a 10 gig link going to, we have a router in Mega in Hong Kong, connecting to Hong Kong IX physical port to Google and to the Trans-Eurasia Information Network. Then from Hong Kong IX, we get a lot of other routes from different networks. Unfortunately, our Hong Kong link has been down for, I think, 3 weeks, I think, or a month. We are riding over the AAG cable, and I think it's because of the earthquake. The AAG cable has been damaged, and the operator is having a hard time repairing the break on the circuit. So we have routed a lot of our traffic through our friends at Singapore. Thank you to Dr. Francis and to Simon. Our traffic shifted to Singapore. We have a physical port to Singaren and also a physical port to the Singapore SGIX. Then we have a 1 gig link going to Japan being funded by ASTI, and of course a 10 gig link going to Japan being funded by our friends from Mafin. Then we have a router collocated in Otomachi, wherein we interconnect with the other networks that are terminated at APAN JP. No. Then we're trying to finish the deployment of a 10 gig link going to Pacific Wave and a 10 gig link going to Guam. Unfortunately, the Guam link also rides over the AAG cable, so it's down right now. For the Pacific Wave, we're trying to finish the configuration. Celeste, apologies for the delay on that. Then we have a 20 gig link going to the commercial internet. 2 10 gig links going to the government network. And from the government network, this is where we pick up most of the schools and the state universities that use our research routes. We are working out to have these 2 10 gig links to be, well, at least 200 gig links to have an aggregate of 200G going to the heart of the government network. Also within the government network, if you were able to tune into Ives or Ives' presentation this morning, he mentioned about the Pacific Light cable from US going to Asia, specifically to the Philippines and Taiwan. For the Philippine landing party, it's within the Ministry of ICT here in IGOV. So we are we need to upgrade this link ASAP. The switches are the equipment is already with us. We're just coordinating with the Ministry of ICT. They're the ones operating this network. Then we have a 10 gig link going to the local internet exchange that we're running. We're also due to upgrade this to a 100 gig link. Then we are hosting several CDNs and content within our network. Some applications over the network, of course, being an NREN, we advocate EduRoam. Although, honestly speaking, its pickup of EduRoam in the Philippines is glacial. IPv6, we've been advocating IPv6 for the longest time. Again, it's difficult to get them to turn on IPv6, but we still advocate it. At least for the peering between point-to-point between the core routers within Preginet and within the Internet Exchange, we're able to turn up IPv6. The difficult part is having them turn it up in their local area network. Okay, in terms of users of the network, we have satellite-related initiatives, sensors, GIS, and so forth. ASTI was the de facto space agency of the Philippines until such time that we were able to enact a law to have a official space agency. So now all of the space-related assets and projects within my office in ASTI are being turned over to the Space Ministry. Of course, Preginet is the backhaul that transports all of the data and the satellite images. We've had exposure with the satellite-based internet way before with this group, with Professor Moray, with Husni, with Keiko, with Abbas, and the others that are members of the AI3 SOI group. Right now, there's this ground receiving stations in ASTI, the red dot, in a place called Iloilo, the yellow dot, and in Davao South, the blue dot. So all of these are being turned over to the Space Ministry, but Preginet is the one that connects all of the sites. The space-related group also has a current team presentation to advocate, educate, and do trainings on satellite-based internet. So they're inviting a lot of resource speakers to talk about and market satellite internet in the Philippines and the use of satellite internet in their space programs. Of course, we advocate measurements like per sonar. We joined ATTAIN project before with Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore to do large data transfers. It was STAIN funded. We joined the BGP project of Tsinghua University in China. We host several servers in our network, Team Camry, Flow Sonar, Google, Kaida, so on and so forth. We host APNIC boxes. We host we try to give away ripe sensors before. We are a recipient of the MRoot server. Apologies for the delay, Chehu. Through funding from the regulator, the local regulator asked us to make an open source local version of speed test that the regulator can use to measure internet speed locally in the Philippines. So we are ending this project by December, and we are expecting to turn over the software. It's a web-based software. It's an Android software and a standalone software, an executable file on Linux that we plan to turn over to the local regulator for them to maintain and use it to measure local internet. Also within ASTI, we wire up a supercomputer to our network, and they do a lot of things on this infrastructure, AI, computational biology, remote sensing, so on and so forth. ASTI has before we hosted a lot of data sets in ASTI. The problem was it remained as data and was not converted, or was not really actively converted into information, reports, and all of those things that the decision makers can use. So ASTI invested on a data science team that digests all of the raw data that we get and try to come up with good stories using what the data is saying in order to feed to different agencies that have use for it. So before, we collected a lot of weather sensors data, and it stayed as weather sensor data. So now they try to correlate things and give it to the Weather Bureau, of course, and also to the local government units, so that the mayors, the governors have a basis when they do their decisions on where to pour their funds into. We also hosted a Himawari instance for NICT in Japan. There's a local server in ASTI to mirror the contents of the Himawari cloud in Japan, so that it's easily or locally accessible in the Philippines. In terms of disaster risk management, 22nd of July, we had a big earthquake in the Philippines. It happened north of where I am, quite far from where ASTI is, but we really felt it, and I think this was one of the. I think this was the cause of the break of the AAG cable, if I'm not mistaken. So ASTI was again asked to take images and process those images to see the extent of the damage of the earthquake. And this is August 8th, there was heavy rains and flooding in the middle of the Philippines, a place called Cebu. So again, we were asked to provide images and process data that the local governments can use. Then the latest would be Florita PH. Today is actually no working day here in my place in Luzon because there was a typhoon today and we can still feel the effects. There was a typhoon yesterday and we can still feel the effects today. So no work today. So again, ASTI is monitoring and taking images on where it makes sense to take those images and process it. Okay, so Philippines is a host to the International Rice Research Institute. We host their big rice genome database within the supercomputing facility. Erie has the largest allocation with around 80,000 gig of storage space for their genome database. Next biggest tenant would be PlanetScope. Then we also host Digital Globe. NOAA is a local weather repository, worldview, and all of these things. There's an active group in the University of the Philippines that is also doing distance learning with different select state universities and colleges in the Philippines. So they some of them also use the RegNet Research Network, and they have an ongoing proposal with TEAM to start up, to establish an internet exchange point and a community network in a very far-flung place. So I think this project wrapped up, I think June or July of this year. Some AI apps inside the network. Before we just hosted the weather data. We didn't do anything over it. We relied on the Weather Bureau to do the processing. But now ASTI is, through its data science team, is taking an active role in processing those weather forecasting data and putting analytics and AI over it. So it's more usable. We also do AI on smart farming, a project called Gulay. Gulay is a Filipino for vegetable. So Gul AI Gulay. We also are doing AI for natural language interface called Itanong. Basically, I think it's a translator project, and it's also being used to preserve some of the local dialects that we have in the Philippines. Then we are also doing sensor gathering and correlation through an app called Kuha. Basically, you install it, you take pictures, and it gathers several parameters on your phone that hopefully can be used in the future to correlate things. In terms of the lockdown or the COVID pandemic the past 3 years, the research network was heavily used through distance, through telemedicine by the telemedicine network of the Philippines and the Philippine Genome Center. Okay. So we are looking closely at the Philippine Genome Center because they do a lot of big data transfers, both local and international. Some of the telemedicine activities that happened the past 3 years. And if you look at the list, 2020, 2021, 2022, our telemedicine team is quite busy assisting all of these events. So use cases within RegNet would be distance education, telemedicine, bioinformatics, agriculture, heavy on earth monitoring. disaster risk mitigation. Physics is up and coming as a heavy user. Data analytics, and of course ICT through the Ministry of ICT and Government. So in terms of physics, a group within the University of the Philippines is actively coordinating with CERN in Switzerland, and they are gathering the physicists, different physicists in the country to work on data that is being generated through CERN. We are closely coordinating with them because when they decide that it's time to transfer, data sets from all the way from Europe or from the nearest mirror in Asia, then they can use Preginet for that data transfer. We are active in the ASEAN High Performance Computing Group, ARENA-PAC, as Abbas mentioned, and this is another up and coming Copernicus. We are going to host images for the European Space Agency. Of course, up and coming is Pacific Wave of Celeste in the US. Okay, thank you for your time. That's my last slide.
Thank you, Bunny. Very comprehensive presentation. Any questions for Bunny? Hope that the ARENA-PAC circuits for like Preginet can be ready sooner rather than later. Yeah, it has taken a long time. Anyway, yeah.
Panda mentioned the equipment is coming soon, so hopefully.
Yeah, but not the circuit. It will take longer time. Yeah, any further information from Asai-san, Panda?
Yeah, so yeah, the equipment will come soon, so we can do a real operation soon after the circuit is up, but I think the circuit needs some more time, so I think 2 hours more. But I think after the circuit is up, I think we're gonna have we can have more exciting research and educational project over the ARENA-PAC. So do you have any, Bunny, do you have any the idea to use the ARENA-PAC? So for example, you presented many educational or research projects, research collaboration in Preginet. So what do you think we're gonna use the ARENA-PAC in their project?
I think it will depend on the routes that we will be getting via the ARENA-PAC. We would try to use spread out some of our traffic over the different uplinks of the network. But right now, no specific traffic that we are eyeing. Depends on the routes and the policy routing that we will get.
Yeah, routing, and I think we need to think about the data set or the actual usage for the traffic. I mean, the destination or source of the network, the traffic. Yeah.
Our high performance computing group is justifying their budget for next year, and they are going to buy a lot of storage. They would want to offer data hosting for science and research related data sets. So we will try to pull as much science related data from international sources as possible for local consumption in the Philippines.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that kind of the international or global collaboration in the research field needs the high-speed network for the data exchange. So actually, yeah, this is not our organization, but Japan has the supercomputer Fugaku, but they are processing a bunch of data, so the circuit or the network is more important, more and more important now. Because if we have a supercomputer in a certain location, but if there is no circuit, if there's no network, they cannot get the data. I mean, the data feed it into the feed into the supercomputer. So yeah, we need I think the network is more important. More important. So let's think about such kind of collaboration.
We
Yeah.
we have the same thinking. That's what I always tell the HPC, the high performance computing guys in ASTI.
Yep.
The network is tied to computing, and computing is tied to the network. You know, we can. It's hard to justify big network links without the users. The HPC is one of the biggest users. So I always tell them to think of us when they do budgeting.
You're right. Yeah, but yeah, let's keep discussion. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's the HPC group that gets the big budget because they're the visible ones. The network I always have to justify because nobody knows what the network is doing.
Maybe
So
you can get some money from the projects from the HPC.
That's what I try to do. I try to insert our needs within the different projects in ASTI.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the in the United States, the supercomputing community, HPC community, and the network community have a very strong relationship. So in the supercomputing conference, they had some kind of the bandwidth challenge. That was not that was terminated now, but there was a bandwidth challenge with use of the international, I mean the global international circuit, the long path pipe. So the supercomputing community should have strong relationships with the network, I think. So you can get the budget from the HPC.
Okay. Thank you, Panda, and thank you, Penny. And yeah, ARENA-PAC, in fact, will have a retreat meeting right after APNIC 54. I'm sharing the information in Singapore, and I foresee that there will be like maybe some new ideas, created at the meeting, and then maybe we can share with you more about what we have next time in APAN 55. Yeah, that's probably it. Any other questions for any of our speakers here related to ARENA-PAC?
ARENA-PAC retreat meeting will be a closed meeting.
Yes, it's a closed meeting. Yeah.
Invitation.
Yeah, it's a closed meeting. Anyway, if no other questions, I would like to close this session. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you in the next session. Anything to add, Konishi-san?
Oh, nothing. Thank you very much for chairing the session.
Yeah.
And I do hope ARENA-PAC will be expanding, and based on the ARENA-PAC retreat meeting in Singapore, and I do hope you will make a good presentation at the next APAN meeting too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we will try our best. Thank you. Okay, yeah, let's close this session, then have a break. And please come back for the next session at Network Engineering Workshop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chifu,
Thank
for
you
sharing this
all.
session.
Thank you, Chihu.